We're live. There it is. Now we're live officially.
Happy Monday.
Happy Monday. Hey guys, how are you all? Thank you for being here and spending time with us again on another what is this? Monday night on Vintage Resellers Squad. Yeah, so thank you all for showing up. We really do appreciate it. Before we get into, of course, introductions, we want to give some special shout outs this evening. First, going up to Mick. Thank you so much for being here so early. We do appreciate it. Karen girl, oh Karen, she beat you. Mick beat you. She snuck in there. She snatched that first place comment tonight. Karen, thank you. Oh, everybody's 1948 is here. Thank you for joining us. New to me people as guests tonight. Well,
you're in for a treat.
You are. You've got some great people. Oh, look, even mothers are in the house this evening. That's Katie's mom, you guys.
Yes, welcome, Mom.
Hello, Antique Agenda. How are you tonight? Karen, good evening. Carrie, how are you?
Girl.
Hello, Angela. How are you doing this evening? And welcome back from your hiatus. Glad to hear that your technology is working again. Pamela, LaDonna, hello.
Hello.
Hello. Hello, Pat. How are you? Thrifter, not hoarder. How are you? How are you doing, Christine?
Love that
Hello,
name.
everybody. Thank you. Hello, Daniel. Oh, that's not Daniel. Hello. Hi, Daniel. There he is. There he is. How are you doing? Cut American. How are you tonight? Paprika's Closet. Hello, everybody.
Daniel, look what I have, a microphone, Daniel.
Just what she was missing in life today. You know.
Oh, now I'm blurry again.
Oh, no.
And Misty's super blurry, and I am turning into an Oompa Loompa. I am aware of it. I can't control it. Something's going on.
Man.
Here we go. Oompa Loompa. Doopity-doo. So it is. We're just going to work with it. She's over there fighting with Katie and Michelle. Welcome to Vintage Hot Mess Night. Ladies, how are you doing this evening?
Good.
Oh, I'm great. I'm just thrilled to be here, Michael.
Well, we are glad to have you and to join us. And as I told both Michelle and Katie, a special thank you. Michael gets a little confused on the days, and sometimes days gets ahead of himself. So thank you, ladies, for agreeing to be here so last minute. I do appreciate it.
Oh, of course.
Well, I'm blushing.
You do look you do look like, what was her name? Veruca? That's her.
Oh, yeah.
That's blue. I'm an Oompa Loompa, girl.
No, when you get close to that cat, you go purple. Violet, you're turning violet.
Yeah, Violet.
Do you remember Ross in the spray tan booth in that episode?
I know. Isn't that? I turned the lights on, the ring lights, because I kept getting a shot because I'm wearing the hat. And then it's turning me orange. I've never experienced that before.
The hat shadow is real. That is.
And Katie has got quite the hat on this evening.
Yes, she does.
I do. I love my new hat. I'm very excited to have a boater. This is my first boater in my collection, so very thrilled about that.
So why is it called a boater? Are you supposed to wear it on a boat?
Well, you can wear it on a boat. Typically, you see people wearing it with linen, but see, this hat is flat on the top, so this is technically a boater. It's got a wider brim. It's not a pork pie because pork pies would have like a shorter cutout, but they're still short brims. They're longer brims and they're shorter crowns, so they're not as tall as a fedora.
I want to come over to Katie's house and I want to try on all of her hats.
Oh, that would be fun.
I can have a hat
now,
party.
Do you have, Katie, do you keep your hats in hat boxes to make sure that they don't get like smushed, or do you hang them, or is that bad for the hat?
That is a good question, Michael. I don't have the room for hat boxes. I see people all the time that are true collectors of vintage hats, and they have all of the Stetson boxes or all of the Dobbs. I just don't have room. But you don't want to have hats sticking on top of each other because they will get crushed. So what I do is I have little nails in the wall in my closet, and when you go in, it's just hats down the wall, which works out because it's not hurting the hat. And it's on the, it hangs down, so nothing's crushing it.
And it looks nice.
Yeah, it does. It looks great. It's happy when you go in the closet and you see all of them. I have them all arranged by color, so I'm a little bit particular about how my hats are. So it's kind of fun to say, like, oh, here's the yellow section and the shades of green and the blue and the red. So it's just happy.
How many hats do you have? Do you know how many hats that you have?
Last I counted, I had 36 hats. I am now, this will be 37, this hat here.
Ooh.
Not counting, I have like 2 vintage hats that were just given to me in friend mail, which are fabulous, but they're more like Marvelous Mrs. Maisel hats.
Yeah, we would like to see a closet hat picture at some point.
Yes, I will definitely have to do that and post it to Instagram.
You kind of gave a snippet one time when you were showing something. There was a snippet of your closet where you could see just a few.
Ooh,
so
Michelle, it's creeping.
A whole video on my hats, but I'll do another one. And I would love to do a reel with all of my different hats.
Oh, yes.
It would be fun.
Yeah. Oh, I would love that. And see, Katie is like one of the few people that I know that can wear the color red like none other. Like she can wear a red hat with a red lip, and it's just like, it's everything. I love it. I love it.
What are those guys called that row the boats like in Paris?
Oh, on the gondoliers.
Yeah.
Yes. Katie, I want you to be my driver.
I
but
could
you have to have red lipstick.
My driver.
or rower or whatever.
To be your rower. Oh, they probably have a name.
The gondolier.
But I'll tell you a funny story. So just before we went live, I was eating dinner. And when I eat dinner and I'm already dressed, I don't want to get anything on my shirt, So I had a subscriber friend sent me a wonderful vintage apron. So I put on my vintage apron and I was eating my sandwich, so I didn't get anything on my shirt. And I thought, it's kind of funny. There's something in the pocket here. Well, I had filmed a cooking segment a while ago, and there was lipstick in the pocket still, red lipstick. And I had gone to buy another lipstick the other day because I couldn't find that one. Well, found it. It was in my apron.
Well, of course it is. Did you find your pearls and heels next to that?
Yeah, in the pantry next to the chips.
Okay.
I'm just going to sit over here and be blurry this whole time.
Well, Misty, you be blurry, and we'll let Michelle and Katie officially introduce themselves to anybody that's just not in the know. Michelle, do you want to go first? Then Katie.
No. Let Katie.
Katie, do you want to go first?
Sure. Well, for all of you that don't know me, I'm Katie from Vintage and Vinyl, and I talk records and vintage on my channel every week. I also am part of Tales from the Triptych, so I do a research-based show with my friends Patrick over at Trusty Huckster Mercantile and Soul Nate from New Zealand. We rotate between our channels, and it's really fantastic because we delve into different topics, and we're able to show you things that maybe we can't show you live because there's some things that are pretty tough to find and sometimes may be rare. So we really enjoy delving into that on Tales from the Triptych. I'm also part of Duo Dive on Wednesday, and we have different collectors and guests come on, and that rotates between my channel and Patrick's channel every Wednesday at 9:30.
Get it. So she has a busy schedule, folks. Yeah, she does. How are you? How are you there, Miss Newton?
I am fabulous.
Do you want to tell the world about yourself?
Sure. My name is Michelle, and I'm from Newman's Cupboard in the banner. I like to say full-time reseller, but I'm also a mom and a wife, and I do all those things. I'm a juggler of all. I sell on eBay. I have live sales like once a month by myself. Unless friends ask, then I'll join. On my channel with my camera.
There you go.
Yeah. I like to talk all things reselling. Like to put it all out there. A lot of things with reselling we can't get. It's not readily available. So I like to just throw it all out there and tell you all what I know. And as of March 1st, I'm also on Etsy. So I sell on eBay, Etsy, and do live sales.
Lots of hats. Speaking of hats, lots
Literally.
of hats.
Yes. You are very busy, Michelle. Amazing how you keep it all straight.
It's a planner.
Girl, gotta have. I have to write everything down.
As well as that works out, I'm sure, right? Because once you write it down, it's carved in stone, and just nothing is going to interfere with that planner.
No, if I don't have my planner or my notebook, I will turn the car around and go back and get it. It literally is how I live my life.
Yeah.
I write everything on a legal pad. I cannot live without my legal pads.
Yeah.
Yep.
Maybe I should do that. Maybe that's why I can't remember the day of the week.
Yes. And it helps. To me, it helps to write things down. Like, I don't want to electronically enter it into, I need to physically write it down. I need to write it with my own little hands and see it with my own little eyes and my own little handwriting.
Well, that's part of like memory retention, though, the actual act of writing.
It absolutely is. My students used to hate me because I would make them write things and write it and write it and write it. Your vocabulary words, write them in your own handwriting and write them again.
Yeah.
It does help.
It really helps. When I do any research for any of the shows that I've been working on, I have to print all of the research out and then write it on my pad so that I can get it prepared for the show. That's just how I do it. I know some people are very much, oh, it's online. I'll read an article and have a tab. I can't do it that way. I just need it in front of me.
I agree.
That's why I stopped working, now I do working Wednesdays. I stopped Wisdom Wednesdays because in the military, I called it death by PowerPoint. I would sit there and read to soldiers.
Yeah.
And I felt like that's what I was doing, reading research or reference books. So I was like, okay, I do not like it anymore. Change.
There you go. And you got to do what you love. That is for sure.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
Yes. And so just in case anybody missed any of the introductions, or maybe you're a little confused, in the description of the video, you guys, everybody's YouTube channels, everybody on the screen that you're seeing this evening does in fact have a YouTube channel. Everybody that you're seeing on the screen this evening is in fact on Instagram. All 8 of those links are down below in the description of this video. So all you have to do is click those links. It is 100% free. You're not buying anything. You're not obligated. You're not committed to anything. Again, it's just a really easy, simple way to show a little bit of support to some really hard-working people. It's encouraging. It is a little bit of an ego boost, but it's like one of those things when you're working and it's kind of like, what is the metric of success?
Yeah.
As much as a lot of people may say, I don't do it for the subscribers, I don't do it for the followers, I don't do it for the likes. That is a metric of success on YouTube or on Instagram. Doesn't have to define you as a person, but again, it's just an easy way. It's some encouragement to some folks. So if you are not following anybody on Instagram, or you're not following any of the ladies on YouTube, I really do encourage you to please go ahead and do that. Check out their channels, follow along, leave some thumbs up, engage by leaving comments. It really does help that YouTube channel or that Instagram page grow and reach a new audience and reach new people. So yes, Daniel, thank you. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up. And you can start by hitting the thumbs up on this video too. I will say that.
We like to throw our thumbs at Daniel.
Yes. So guys, as always, remember that just because we happen to be the ones that are up here on the screen, that doesn't mean that the conversation is ending here. And I would say that the conversation happens more so in the chat. If you guys have a question or you want to address something, please go ahead and put those comments or those questions in capitals so that they stand out in the chat a little bit better, and we can, highlight those and answer those questions, those suggestions, or those ideas that you guys have. You are playing an integral part in this conversation, so don't be shy. Misty, do you want to talk about the intention here behind Vintage Rescue Squad, just to kind of let everybody refresh, and maybe if you're new, you don't know what's going on right now?
Sure, sure. Well, we created this as a just like a platform to where people who are collectors, who are buyers, who are sellers, who are content creators, sellers on any platform can kind of come together and talk about maybe some issues that they've been having and some suggestions that maybe have worked for them, something new that they were trying and something that worked for them, as well as kind of unveil the curtain behind such things as live sales. I know that sometimes live sales are kind of something that we particularly talk about a lot because that's our main thing. We mainly sell things through live sales. So I get a lot of people asking me how can I start doing live sales? And so we're kind of like divulging in everything that has to encompass reselling, collecting, and that sort of thing. The good, the bad, the ugly. And I always say, I get, leaving comments, I think, on people's videos is such an important thing to do. So if you've never left a comment on someone's YouTube channel after you've watched it, I know a lot of times you might be watching on your television. So maybe just pick up your phone and, just say, hey, great video. Or honestly, if there's something, and one thing that happened in mine, and I didn't even realize it when I'm editing my videos, is the ending song was very, very loud. And when I'm editing it, I can't tell that it's that loud. It's a really hard thing to understand, but it was loud. And someone had commented, the song is way too loud for me at the end. I love it, but it's way too loud. And I took that as that is a learning moment. That's a positive, constructive criticism. So I make sure now that I lower the volume of that particular song on the end. And she had commented today, oh my gosh, thank you so much. It made a world of a difference. So it's things like that. Those are the kinds of things. Like she could have said, like, I will never watch your videos because that song is so loud at the end. That would have been handled a whole different way. But something that is kind and constructive. And I think that we can't always take it as being attacked. Oh my God,
Right.
said that about me.
Yeah.
Using that criticism and turning it into something that's a positive. So.
Well, I got a comment from someone that was so nice the other day, and it was so helpful to me because I just recently invested in the Rode microphones that Fatbird Finds has, and I'm learning how to use them and get them set up on my camera. And I had been recording apparently in mono. So when people are listening to my videos through their headsets, they're only hearing it in one ear instead of stereo, which is 2 channels. And there's a reason that you can do mono options on the microphones, which makes sense, but not for a solo person recording for a video. So this person left the nicest message, was very complimentary, and said, oh, by the way, I see you're using the Rhodes. Excellent choice, but can you switch it to stereo? And they could have just been so nasty about it, but they said it so politely. And I was like, oh, I am recording in mono. And I tested it with my headphones. And I was like, oh, that's easy. I just need to press a button. And I figured it out. And it was great. So you can leave some really helpful comments.
It's the world of the difference in the way that someone, the way that something is said, it makes the world of difference. Nan wants to know, Michael.
What?
Look what Nan said.
There is a huge pink blow mold cat behind me. That's right. And it will be for sale tomorrow. But no, there's definitely something to the saying, you catch more bees with honey than what?
Vinegar, I think.
Vinegar. And that's the thing. As a retail store manager, I will tell you this, people that come in and immediately have an attitude, I'm like, no. I'm so sorry, I can't help you. Even though it's within my full power and discretion to help you, an attitude ain't gonna get you nowhere. But the person that comes in there and they're just polite as can be, I actually go the extra mile to make sure that that person is taken care of, because that's who I want to come back into my store. That's my way of being able to show and demonstrate through action my appreciation towards that respectable behavior.
Yeah.
And you know what, that kind of brings up a great first topic I guess we can talk about is that the idea of, thank you, Rob. Okay, Rob knows. Rob empathizes, he sympathizes. No, the customer is not always right anymore. I think that was the most horrible concept or idea.
Yeah.
And that's just the truth, is that there is an illusion that the customer is always right. That has never been the truth. But unfortunately, I think in the world that we're living in, people have just taken it and run with it so that they can act and behave however it is that they want to.
But I will say, though, in that aspect, is the customer is not always right. But I think that dealing with your customer is you kind of have to treat it as, in your mind, as they possibly are right. Or, your customer is you want that customer to come back, even if they're mad or whatever. So while they may not always be right, they too are justified or just to as equally.
They have a say. They have a say.
They have a say too. Yeah. And I think handling it with courtesy is always an important thing, and not just kind of, well, no, you're wrong, and then like being argumentative about it.
Yeah,
just be as professional as you can.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Katie. Sorry.
Oh, no, I was just going to say, be as professional as you can. And you can always say, I see your point too, so that they feel validated. But you're saying, oh, but also I can't really help you, or I can't fix this, but I see your point. That way everybody kind of wins.
I think so too.
Seeing things from the other point of view is something I've learned in the last few years, and it makes a huge difference.
It does. Yeah.
The two things I was going to say is, one, it's like reciprocated with that, Michael. Like, I have the same experience if I go in a store, and I might just ask. They might have moved things around, 100 times in Walmart, and I just want to know where the script
like they like to do.
Yep. So I'll just ask, and a lady's like, look it up on the app. I'm just asking the question, like, and I just learned that you can look up your store on the app and find things.
Same.
I know. Tell me that. I didn't know that.
I will not bother a soul.
No, see, Michelle, that's a great example, because that's the thing. It's a reciprocal relationship.
Yes.
It's like, doesn't matter. I'm asking you. Can you show me where it's just tell me.
On who you ask, they probably don't even know.
True.
Yeah.
Well, with the big push to technology, though, I do feel that it's causing customers to kind of go away from certain stores because they don't want to be treated like a robot. And I just dealt with that with eBay. I was talking to you guys before the show about an issue I had with an oil can, and I have tried to contact eBay to no avail, and they don't have a call center. I mean, they have like one number, and sometimes somebody answers, but it's only for certain things. And then if you get on the phone with someone and it's not what they think, they just hang up on you. And it's so infuriating. And it's like, how can you be a multi-billion-dollar corporation and not have some phone center to help people that are selling and buying on eBay? That's just extremely frustrating. And it makes me not want to deal with them. Of course, that's not the case. We'll all be, loving eBay forever since we're collectors and buyers and sellers, but it's just frustrating. And I do think that in the case of Walmart, like, for example, that lady should have stopped and taken the time to, say, oh, I don't know, but let's find it. Or let me help you.
I love that answer.
Love
that answer.
Or let me help you. Do you have your phone?
Yeah.
Pull up your phone and I'll show you how you can do that. That's it. I think that sometimes if you think
Girl, quit bothering me. Let me show you how you do this on the phone.
Right. But I think sometimes it's like people that are our age. I think the people that are like in another generation, younger, they don't really have, we weren't raised that way. We were raised to be helpful and to, kind of look out for your neighbor. And I'm not saying that the younger generation doesn't, because they do for the most part, but there are some that just, it's very much a me. It's all about me and my time.
And the customer service portion of it. This goes with everything, but in reselling, like my background in human resources, my background in customer service, I think it plays a huge role in reselling, because I say that answer, Katie, all the time. I don't know, but let me see if I can figure it out. I don't know, but let me ask. I love that answer.
I don't know, but I'll find out. Yeah. And hopefully they'll come out. Hopefully they're not just telling you that just to go away.
But I think that that's the thing, though, is that it's not necessarily a solution. And most people, I think, though, if you say, I don't know, let's find out, there is an immediate respect, because it's, for most people, there's a respect that you're not going to lie to me. You know, that you have the respect for me to tell me the truth, even though the truth might not necessarily be what I want to hear. You at least have enough respect for me to tell me the truth. And that then makes me want to listen to you further. It's kind of like an endearing moment. That's how you build trust, is through honesty, you know, and being able to say, I don't know, is probably one of the most powerful and underrated statements in the human language that there is. Really, truly is.
Yeah.
But and I think this is the interesting thing, because this is what we were kind of talking about before we went live, because, you know, Michelle is selling on eBay and now Etsy. And I had asked Michelle, you know, are there similar policies and procedures that she's seeing across the platform that really, it's kind of like twofold. They're there to protect the buyer. They're also there, you know, to protect the seller. And Michelle, what were you saying about those two things? Or did you see any like consistencies, things maybe that you liked on eBay that maybe weren't on Etsy, or things that you liked on Etsy that weren't on eBay? And the reason, and I'll just caveat it, the reason I'm asking this is because for those of us that have chosen to sell primarily via social media, we don't have a third party. We don't have an eBay. We don't have an Etsy that helps mitigate customer service issues. We are it. That, you know, so that's why I'm curious to get Michelle's input on those two platforms.
Okay, so the one thing is Etsy and eBay collects personal information. So they have the names, they have the addresses, they have the payment information. So before you can buy something, I don't know why I did that. Before you can buy now you see me.
Now you see me?
Before you can buy all this.
Yeah, all this before you can see all this. Oh my God. Okay. Before you buy something, you've already inputted all your information into one of those sites. So I don't have to worry about you sending that information. So that part I am protected on. On eBay, because I call that my base platform.
Okay.
On eBay, people can offer, I can send them an offer and they can accept, or they can send me an offer and I can accept, but they do not have to pay. Let's just say that. eBay has put a policy in place where they have to show payment, but they don't have to pay. On Etsy, there's no offers. There's no, let me ask you this. If they put it in their cart and they pay, they pay. There's no like back and forth. And I like that part about Etsy.
Okay.
The other thing is, I would say on the two, like, cause I'm only like 7 days in. So, but I did have my first sale. So we'll just,
Yay.
So on something I noticed is on eBay, after someone pays and you ship the product, they want you to give that person feedback based off of payment only. On Etsy, you don't do any feedback to the buyers. There's only feedback to the sellers. So I feel like if there was something there, like if someone doesn't pay, I can be like, hey, you didn't pay, you're junk. But there's not that option.
Yeah.
But you said, do you think it's because, and you're talking about on like Etsy, you as a seller not being able to leave feedback for the buyer, do you think it is because they have the way that their system is that like if you were talking about an offer, like there's no offers
No.
on Etsy. So like I can't, like once I click check out, it doesn't leave the seller's store until I actually purchase the item, until it's my information has gone through. Whereas on eBay, I can do, that's what confuses me because I only use my phone to do eBay purchases. And I know that if I hit buy it now, it forces me to put in my contact or to put in my payment information right away, but that's not necessarily the case.
Yeah, if say I had this $1 million thing, because that's all I do is sell $1 million items.
Get it. Okay.
Yeah, right. So say I had this $1 million item and you offered me 100,000 and I accepted.
Okay.
You don't have to pay because you have to get the notice that I accepted.
Right.
And then you have to pay. So there's at times, depending on like days, holidays, Sundays, sometimes there's been 4 days in between me accepting, them paying, or another day when finally eBay cancels.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
And Nan only buys $1 million items.
That's awesome. Come on over.
Well, Nan, hit it up. Michelle is your girl. You found that seller now, sister.
Right.
Okay.
Misty's holding up lucite candles, $1
Mhm.
million.
Amazing lucite candles too.
Now, Bree has an interesting comment / question, and I think that this is, and the reason that I want to delve into this is because, and we're talking about customer service, and Michelle was saying it though too earlier, that at the end of the day, to be a successful small business, it does very much have to operate as a relationship, and because we are very much content creators and it's like a social kind of thing. We talked about that last week on last week's Vintage Rescue Squad. Where do you separate the person from the business, and is there any separation? Again, it's just like there's no like, we can't say to eBay this person didn't pay, or with Etsy it's like, well, they're not going to buy there's no non-payment option because you're not selling it until somebody buys it. So, but for us, we like right now, I've got 2 things that are in a box waiting, and I'm like, I don't have their information.
Yeah.
And then it's kind of like, what is my recourse? Because I can't go to eBay and say, I can't leave this person feedback at what Bree is saying. I can't, there's no system for me to say this person's a non-payer.
Mm-hmm.
And it is a 2-way street though. Do you know what I mean? Because it's not just buyers who aren't paying or sending contact information. We very much do understand and recognize, because it is customer service, that there are also sellers who may not be invoicing you guys, or God forbid, you've actually sent somebody money and they're never sending your information.
Oh gosh. See, what I have to say that I'm going to knock on wood, but it very rarely happens to me that I have a non-buyer. It has happened, but it very rarely happens. It happened a lot at first. And then what I would do is I had a Post-it note right in front of me during my sale. I'm sitting down, I have a Post-it note. And that was a list of people that if I saw them pop, if they're people that have not paid, I haven't gotten their information, or they've never paid, or whatever. And I see them pop up in my chat, I'm blocking them. I'm blocking them. If they've not communicated with me in any way, shape, or form, if they've not said, I don't know, I've told Michael, lie to me. Tell me your uncle's brother's wife got hit by a train, or I don't know, just communicate something with me. And I'm fine with it. If you communicate something with me and say, I can pay you. Now, listen, if you were sending me a message and you're like, I can't pay you for a month. No. That
I won't do that.
I cannot run my business that way. If you say I can pay you in a week, a week I could do. A month I can't do. So that's what I would do. I have a Post-it note in front, and it's the people that maybe from the week prior that you've not heard from. and then they can be blocked. And like if Michael and I we have sales together every Tuesday, and it's on my channel, well, he could block them on his channel. He needs to let me know who they are. So when we have a sale together, I mean, because I don't want them buying from me either if they're gonna, ghost me. Now, so there is, like Michael was saying, there is a flip-flop to that too. There are sellers who are also not doing that. So this isn't a bash the buyers,
No.
platform, because we are all in an agreement that it does happen both ways. It does happen both ways. So we're just wanting to talk about it a little bit. And like, I've always kind of wished that there could be some sort of a rating system. You know how eBay has, you're a top rated seller, or and I know that there are new sellers that are just learning and they're just getting started and they're trying to figure all this out. And I get that. I totally get that. But the main thing of it is, if you are a reseller and you're doing this full time, I understand that there are part-time resellers and they're not, I mean, I think they're still taking it seriously, but this isn't how they're paying their bills. They're like, I need this money to come in because that's how I maintain my business. But I think that if you are having a sale, you need to ship those items within that week, whatever day that is. And you don't have another sale until all of those items from that previous week have been invoiced and in a box and ready to go. And then you start. Even if you're shipping multiple times a week, or you're just shipping one time a week, if you're just saying Thursday's my day, I'm shipping on Thursday, you'll get your invoice. And then, I'm not going to have another sale until all of these orders are done. It can be done. Listen, I ship over 100 items by myself every week.
Amazing.
So it can be done. It can be done.
But that goes to time management, and it goes to, and I think, again, and this is what I want to impress upon you, is that irregardless of whether you're doing this part-time and you're doing it maybe for a little extra pocket money, or you're using this money maybe so that way you can go out and buy some different stuff for your collection, or you're doing it maybe to pay some extra bills, or you're putting it in the bank to save for long-term goals, or, this is how you are living.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it's a transaction. It's a business. And if I have somebody that is going to take the time out of their day to attend one of my sales and then put their trust in me as a seller, I then in turn have to demonstrate to them through action my appreciation and respect. And that is to get their items out to them in a timely manner, in a safe and secure manner, and in a timely manner. That's how, again, we demonstrate to one another. That's how we build trust. That's how we build relationships, and that's how we build a successful business. Even if you're only selling 5 or 10 items a week, if you don't have those good relationships, if you don't have that time management, right?
Yeah.
Who are those 5 and 10 people going to be? Because word spreads, right? We talked about branding, right? And what did Emma say was the most powerful? Was word of mouth. And once 1 and 2 and 3 people start having a bad experience, they tell 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 people, and then we can't wonder why nobody is showing up at our sales.
Yeah.
So again, it's not, oh, this person didn't pay, and we don't want to make you guys feel, because we do recognize as sellers that maybe you guys are in difficult positions where maybe you've bought in something, and I saw somebody did comment it. Where was it? That, there are sellers not shipping following payment. We do not. No, we don't agree with that.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And I mean, here's
That's
my
theft.
thing.
That's theft.
It is. And here is my thing. If this is just what I'm going to say, if you are attending a sale, whether it be Instagram or YouTube, you're attending a sale and you've bought something from someone, and say and you've sent them your information. So please make sure that you're sending them your information.
Key.
You know,
that's very
that's
key.
the key to it. And you've not heard something for let's say a week. Email them and ask about it. If you don't get a response the next day, email them about it. If you don't get a response, email them about it again. If you don't get a response, keep emailing them. They are going to get sick of you emailing them. And honestly, you're not going to be going back to their sales anyway, because the way that they're handling their business. Keep emailing them. And if you have made a payment through PayPal and they still have not provided you a tracking number, I would go on PayPal and I would cancel the payment.
Yeah.
That's why we use PayPal as buyers and as sellers, because it's secure and it will help you in situations like this. But it's a communication thing.
It's theft. In my opinion, if you have paid for something and they have not provided the service that they've promised to you, then you cancel that transaction. You call PayPal and you cancel that transaction. And please, for the love of God, don't keep going to their sales, because they think if they've got these people, if people have people coming to their sales and engaging, then they think that they're doing good. They're doing a good job.
I was going to say, it's the same as if you went online. My husband and I were actually talking about this today. If you went online and you ordered, I don't know, a rug doctor.
Okay.
And you went to pick it up and it wasn't there, and you couldn't get it, and you couldn't get your money back. Everyone that's on here, no matter what you say, would call the company. You would be calling to get your money back.
Absolutely.
You would be calling Better Business Bureau probably. And most of those rug doctors are in like Walmarts or Targets or whatever. You would be contacting them. You would make sure, but we don't have that.
Right.
So, but one thing I was going to say about the emailing is, so my email is through Yahoo. I had to download an extra app because my Yahoo map does not have a junk folder.
Oh, really?
Yeah. My desktop version does not have a junk folder. It has spam, but not junk. So I had to download a different app just to get the junk folder. So you might not even realize you have junk mail. So
yeah.
And I have found that to be true. I will say, as someone who sells on YouTube, I have had people that have reached out to me through Instagram and they say, hey, I bought something from you and it's been 4 days. I haven't heard from you. And I said, well, I've been looking for you. Can't find your information. And they said, well, I sent it. And then sure enough, it went in the junk folder. So sometimes
it does.
People that are not, purposely trying to not send you their information, they do, it just goes to junk. Same with buyers, maybe not paying, because I have found that some buyers that I know, they have emails that somehow their filters send it to spam and they don't know that they've gotten it. So it does help set up PayPal notifications so you get them through the app so you can see them. And, make sure that if you've bought something from someone that you're checking or emailing and communicating and saying, hey, I didn't get an invoice. Is everything okay?
Yeah.
Because then, you can work with them. And sometimes if they have an issue, you can send them the direct link. And then that way they can just pay directly through email.
That's one thing that I do a lot. There is no shame in my game. If you buy something from me, you may be like, dang, Misty, but I will send you a reminder every single day.
Yeah, I do too.
Every single day you will get a reminder from me. And honestly, the reason is because it drives me. I like things a certain way. And when I see there's like 3 boxes on my to-go out table, it drives me insane. I'm like, you boxes, and I'll talk to you. I'll be like, Karen, I'm just going to use you as an example. This is not a Karen thing to do, but I mean, this is not this Karen's thing to do. But I'm like, Karen, you haven't paid your invoice yet. I'm waiting on you. So, I mean, I may be giving that
I've had a package that's sitting on my counter for about 4 weeks now, and I keep moving it every time I cook because, I do this from my apartment, and my kitchen counter is where I ship and do all of my YouTube and live sale stuff. So I'm sharing it with many other duties that one would do in an apartment or a house.
Yeah.
And I keep moving it. And I'm like, I've reached out. I've sent reminders, emails. I've asked other people, can't find anything about said person. So I've just decided, you know what? It's going back in another sale. And sometimes,
Yeah.
unfortunately, you have to do that.
I say I give 3 days, but honestly, I wait until my next sale. And if I don't hear something, I am selling it in that next sale. Now, I don't say who it was, but if somebody really wanted to be sleuthy about it, they could go back to whatever sale that was and they could see who it was. So I mean, and I know that has happened, but I'm not gonna say who it is because I think that's in bad taste. But there's times I've wanted to, but I won't. But so Angela brings up a good point. There are a bunch of people who have non-payments or people who are trying to hold things for months. Don't do that. Don't
Doesn't
hold
work.
things for months. It will not bode well for you because what's going to happen is that you are going to get an invoice and your shipping is going to be $300.
Yep.
I've done it. I've tried it. It does not work. It does not work. So it isn't to me it isn't fair to ask a reseller to hold an item for over a week for you. If you're having 3 sales that week, like a lot of us do, that's
different.
Different.
But I ask, I say, if you don't send me an email telling me to hold it, I'm going to invoice you for it so I don't get behind. So it's just it's courteous because everyone has space that they want to clear up a little bit. So.
Well, and that's exactly the point. And that's why, because of what Katie said and what Jamie has just said, and Michelle, you were selling out of your home, is that correct?
Yeah, she is.
So, and I mean, I think maybe that's something that a lot of people don't maybe fully comprehend and understand is that there's like right now I would be mortified to show you the condition of my home, and especially when it's like right before a live sale, the entire day, even like that night with the amount of boxes, because I have to pull it all out, right? And you create this huge mess, and then everything's ready to go, and then just as Katie says, these boxes that I don't have the contact information on, or that somebody's decided and they can wait for another week until I can pay. That is literally in my home. It is in my living space. It is literally taking up physical space in my home. And you're thinking, oh, well, it's just a 12 by 8 by 10 box.
Yeah.
That's my home.
Yeah.
That 12 by 8 by 10 inches, that's yours. That's taking up space in my home. And I think that, Misty brings up an interesting point because in my head, and Katie just said it herself because she's had that box for a while, that ultimately then ends up back on our laps. And at what point then do we as resellers say, that's not acceptable? Because if Michelle sold something on eBay, eBay is going to cancel the order if they're not going to wait 4 weeks for somebody to pay for something. It gets canceled. And that's why, I've just started putting out new shipping because I can't, it's like it mentally weighs on me to have that stuff in the home and to constantly be moving it around, constantly be looking at it. It literally, it mentally weighs on you. So it's just kind of like, I can't wait a week for somebody to decide if they feel like paying then. Like, it's just, I can't do that anymore.
And I'll be honest, I'm a Monica. I am someone that likes things very tidy and neat and clean and organized. I can't live in a chaotic environment that just, my mental health can't deal with that. And so as someone that started in this wonderful YouTube journey, I'm finding I have to be a tad bit less of a Monica because you have piles. And if you could see my counter right now, like I feel exactly, Michael, like, oh, I don't want anyone to come in my home because while the rest of it's clean, my counter has working piles, as I like to say. So one pile is like a video that I'm getting ready to film, although I have a drop sale coming. So that has to go in the back corner. So that's one pile. And then I have stuff for the drop sale. And then I have another pile of things that, okay, please pay me so I can ship this. And then like bubble wrap. And then another, it's just, it's stressful sometimes to have all this stuff everywhere. It can be a lot of fun, but it takes up a lot of room. So it does help if you contact the seller and we can get your stuff out to you so that we can make more room for more live sales and fun projects and just to be more in a better headspace.
So Ruthie said that she bought something over a month ago and you're still waiting. Girl.
She's looking for the right box. Oh, honey, then make one.
Suspicious.
Cancel that order. Email them and say, I'm sorry, I no longer want this item.
Yeah.
I'm serious. That's ridiculous.
If I list something on eBay, I have to put the box dimensions in. So if on eBay, okay, let me just a second. Okay. If I'm selling on eBay and I list something, I have to put the box dimensions in, which is telling eBay and the buyer that I have that box to put the item in. So why are other sellers and buyers not respecting the fact that you have to do the same? Live sales are not different from selling on any platform at all. It's just a different kind of sale.
Sorry.
I'm sorry.
No, I amen.
And that's, you know what?
Because I get comments daily that say, well, you do this on eBay, but you do this on live sales. No, my policy mimics eBay and now Etsy. If I'm on a live sale, I will tell you, this is going to be invoiced tomorrow. And then you got 48 hours. Yep. I'm reminding you in the morning. I'm emailing you in the afternoon. I'll remind you the next morning. The next evening, you're done. And I'm sitting there with your box with a pair of scissors, opening it up because you just wasted my time.
Yep.
It's frustrating.
But on eBay, if I bought something, that's on them. I cannot waste their time. They cannot waste my time. So I don't understand why people act like this is so different. Sorry.
No,
well, that's the problem though, is because there's not an intermediary. There's not the big brother isn't there to kind of put the screws to whether it's the buyer or the seller. And again, I don't want anybody to think like, oh, we're trying to come for the buyers, because again, we are saying this is applicable to sellers. It 100% is. And I can tell you from personal experience that each of these ladies on the screen and the people that have and continue to have on Vintage Rescue Squad really do take their businesses seriously. And again, it's through action. And that's also, I guess, maybe why it's frustrating is because I guess it would be one thing if I was a seller that would be like, you'll get your invoice whenever you get your invoice. You're going to pay me whenever you pay me, because that's just the relationship that we have. Do you know what I mean? I can't expect to get back what I'm not willing to put in. But because as a seller, when I'm willing to get you an invoice within 24 hours of a sale ending and to get that item out into the mail within 24 hours of you paying, I'm like, well, where's my receipt? Where's my reciprocal on that? Mm-hmm. Do you know what I mean? And I get every single person up here on the screen would say that we all get that things come up in life.
Oh, absolutely.
Right? As a buyer, as a seller.
I've her before and said, oh my gosh, something's wrong with my bank account. I tried to send her put my card info in the beginning. PayPal would not take my card. And I was like, oh my gosh, Misty, just a minute. Don't invoice me yet. Hold on. We understand it.
Yeah.
But it's the communication though that makes all the difference.
Exactly.
Yes, Katie.
If you email me and say like, I'm sorry, I just had surgery. I can't pay right now, or I'm happy to work with you. But if you don't email me and then I have to hunt you down, that sounds a little harsh, but track you down or your information down from other people, now I'm wasting more of my time. And in my personal opinion, this is just my opinion, whether or not you're full-time or part-time, it shouldn't matter. It's your business and you should take care of your customers and really put in the effort. And if you don't, as a buyer, end up paying me. Well, now I've wasted a wax seal. I've wasted so much
Right.
in packaging that, because I like to write handwritten notes to my customers. I think that adds a little something extra and it makes people's day and that makes me happy. But then if I end up writing your name on the card, well, I can't reuse it. So that's, money that I've now put away because you have not paid me.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Grace, to address Grace's comment, why should I follow up daily? You know what? I would give a week. I would give 1 week. And if you do not get an invoice by a buyer in 1 week, I would email them and say, I'm going to cancel my order. And I guarantee you say, I'm going to cancel, I need to cancel my order. It's been too long. You probably will get an invoice that night. I'm just saying, but it's just like there shouldn't be any more pussyfooting around. This is a two-way street. It's a respect for both. It's both ways. We all 4 of us have bought from live sales. We buy live from live sales too. So we've been on both ends of the spectrum. And I just can't. I don't understand it myself. I don't understand it. I love shipping so much, partly because I just like to see. That's like I have ADHD, and that's the one thing in my life that I can see come to a completion. Like it's not half done anywhere. It's like a completion to me. So I don't understand. And it's also my payday. It's my payday. And everybody likes payday. I like payday. So, if people are invoicing people before they get their items packaged, that's not payday. It makes you less likely to want to get those items out, in my opinion.
Well, I actually enjoy shipping. I'm like you, Misty. It's something
I turn music on.
Oh God, I'm surrounded. Oh God, help me.
Listen, I'm in my garage. I have my bubble wrap.
Yeah, I'm talking to Karen. I'm saying, hey, Nan, I'm wrapping your candles, Nan. Here I go. No, but I talk to my customers as I'm wrapping their stuff. It's fun.
My whole thing is I know for a fact the 4 of us, and I know there's many others. This is a legit business. I pay taxes.
Absolutely.
I have legal.
Yep.
I have a CPA. I'm not saying everybody up here does, but I have those things.
You're legit.
Yeah, I'm too legit. I'm not gonna quit. Some people are not like that. And I think that is where people are bothered because they don't know why things are so frustrating.
Yeah.
But that's why it is. Because I was going to say this and then got off on my soapbox. The reseller list. Now, this is just for me. I'm in Kentucky. I think Katie was on the chat. I was driving down the road and the vintage seller chat was going crazy.
Oh, it was.
And people were like, we need a list of non-payers. We need to figure out who's non-payers. I had already talked to my lawyer about that. Now this is just in Kentucky. I cannot have any part of that at all.
Yeah.
Because just because they were a non-buyer for Misty or Michael or Katie, I cannot discriminate against them because then I'm in a whole different category. And my lawyer said, just back off. Don't do anything with it. Keep your own little knowledge of who hasn't paid.
And I agree with that 100%. That's why I keep a little Post-it note right in front of you. Yep. You have that information that you can decide. And I have blocked people because they've been a not payer, or they've been a not payer, they've given me no excuse, or they've been a non-payer and they've given me 1,500 excuses and still hasn't,
Now, just because someone doesn't pay for somebody else doesn't mean they won't pay for you. Because again, there could be an issue where something went to spam and that person had a bad experience and it was a miscommunication. So you kind of have to take it with a grain of salt. Now, if it's somebody that's been consistently throughout many live sales, I'm talking like 10 plus channels, not paying, what I will do is I don't block anybody, but I will write their name down. And if they buy from me, then I take down a backup bidder. Nobody needs to know about it, but I just write it down. And then if I invoice them and of course they don't pay or I don't get their information and it seems like the same story, then I can contact the second person who most likely really wanted the item and I know them and they'll pay me right away. So it does help to take down a backup person if you've got someone in the chat that's moderating for you.
Katie, can you say that again? Just to be, can you just make that point because we were just, Misty, Sarah, and David and I were talking about that last night. Katie, please, if you are a reseller and you are selling on social media, please listen to what Katie is about to tell you.
Write down a backup person. That helps tremendously. And if you have someone that you've worked with in your sales that is keeping track for you, like a moderator, or you have someone, they can know to do that too. Like I help with Patrick's sales and Nate and I both know, and we kind of talk back and forth in a group chat for that sale. And we know, okay, this person, I don't recognize them. I'm just going to take down the backup person just in case. Most of the time, they're a great person and they're a great new buyer, but every once in a while, maybe they're a dud. So now we've got the backup. It's easy to do, and no one really needs to know about it other than you.
Right.
The email, sorry.
Go ahead, Bev.
The email thing that was just up there.
Yes.
Something that one of my, I hate to talk about her, Sunshine. If you all don't know, Sunshine Hawthorne was an amazing subscriber to a lot of us, and she passed away.
Oh.
And something she told me is every time she found a new channel or she found somebody on Instagram or something like that, if she had their email, she would go ahead and add it to her contacts.
That's a really good idea.
Yeah.
That's good.
So like these three, wait, this way. Like these three, if I had never bought from, I don't know my left from my right.
It's reversed here.
3 yards backwards.
If I had never bought from these three, then I, like down below, Michael's email is down below. You could easily just copy it at the beginning of the sale, go into your email, add it to contacts.
That's a really good idea.
That is smart.
Yeah, I thought that was an amazing idea. So sometimes, and I'll tell people a lot of times, almost every time I'm on a live sale, screenshot my email, go add it to your contacts, or screenshot my email. That way it's a little bit easier to get to because a lot of people are on their phones.
Yeah. And I think and to follow up too with what Pummels was saying, pardon me, is that what they were saying is that when we send them an invoice, PayPal notifies them via email. You get an email, or you're supposed to get an email notification from PayPal saying, hey, Thrifter, Junker, Vintage Hunter, Newton's Cupboard, Vintage and Vinyl, the cult, whoever your seller is, has sent you an invoice. Sometimes what is happening, depending on the email service and the device that you are using, those PayPal invoices get filtered automatically into junk or spam or trash, and you end up never really getting them. For me, I have my notifications turned on from PayPal. So whenever, and I do because I'm a seller. So whenever somebody pays me, I get that notification. But whenever I pay somebody or whenever I get an invoice, that notification also goes off. This is what I'm going to say though, and that's exactly what Daniel is saying. At the end of the day, if you bought in from somebody, and you're like, did I get an invoice? And I had this with this. It happened with Sarah. I was like, girl, did I pay that? Like, I didn't even know if I paid it. I reached out, and it's Sarah. And do you know what I mean? It's on me as a buyer to reach out and be like, did I pay that? Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Like,
I've done that too.
Know that you've bought in something, you're like, did I get an invoice? Did I pay that? Do you know what I'm saying? You have to own that though too as a seller and reach out or simply log into your PayPal. And I know some people are going to say, but I go to so many sales. My response to that is that if you're going to that many sales, then you really should be checking your PayPal. Like if you're buying that much, it probably is a good idea to just keep up on it.
Well, it would probably be helpful too, as if you're going to that many sales, and man, there are a lot of live sales these days.
Well,
Is get yourself a chart and write down the stuff, and then you could check it off. I think even Angela, who's floating around in the chat, she's made a little like handy chart that's on her link tree that you can print out and keep track of all your live sale purchases. And that's helpful too. You know, and the other thing is PayPal sometimes glitches. I know Angela, speaking of Angela, sent me an invoice for something the other week. And I knew she was going to send it, and we were on a video call together, and I never got it. It just didn't go through. So she had to cancel it and do it again. And suddenly it worked. So sometimes PayPal's glitchy, but we were able to communicate and work that out.
I screenshot every time I buy something. I screenshot it, the person holding it. So that way I know, oh, I bought this from Katie, or I bought this from Michael. I can never buy nothing from them. Too many people trying, but
yeah. Yeah, and I don't want to. I mean, Susan says this is scaring me as a buyer.
Yeah, please
Susan,
don't be scared.
Don't make it. Don't just. All I can say is you know that there are lots of sellers that you enjoy watching, and you've had a good experience with them. Then continue to watch them. But just know that you can communicate with. I think it's always a good idea to give somebody a try. There's all kinds of sales. There's a sale pretty much every time you turn on YouTube. There's going to be some sort of a sale. Or when you go on Instagram, there's going to be some sort of a sale. So I'm not saying don't give like a new seller a chance, or do give them a chance is what I'm trying to say. Because sometimes they're just trying to figure it out. They're just learning. They're trying to figure out. Sometimes they can maybe bite off a little bit more than they can chew. And they're trying to be like, okay, that was a little too much this week. And they're fine tuning their business. So, but if this is someone that has been selling for years and years and years, and it's still the same old thing, I would be very leery, because it's almost like it's almost like the survival of the fittest. So the people that are running their business properly and taking it very seriously are the ones that are going to probably be standing on, they're going to make a living out of it. You know what I mean? And and like what Michelle says, it gets so frustrating because we know how hard we work. Like, I know I work so hard. I get up early. I'm there late. I get my stuff done. And then when some people don't, I kind of see it as a big slap in the face for all of us who are really, really trying to do our very best. So,
well, but, and you know what? And okay, well then let's do this, because Zeno is asking question. Are you having this conversation because this is happening more? It is. For me, it is. Yeah. Yeah. And that's also something that we were talking about behind the scenes. And also exactly what Katie and Misty were saying is that there's so many sellers. So it is, again, it's happening on both ends. And it's important because, as we said earlier, it's a business, and you want your business to grow, and you want to attract new buyers into your business. And as consumers, as consumers, we love to have a variety of different outlets with which to shop. And unfortunately, what happens is as that sphere gets bigger and bigger and bigger, we are pulling in all kinds of different people. Maybe some people that don't fully comprehend the idea of, oh, hey, I said that I would buy that. I should probably pay for it once I get my invoice. Or maybe you have a seller that's just like, oh, well, maybe I should probably, maybe not sell 60 things when I'm working a full-time job, and it's going to take me a month to get out those 60 invoices. And then these people are like, where's my invoice? Where's my invoice? And that just adds to it. So again, it's a little bit of both. We have, as I will say, as I will only speak for myself, but as a seller, I have noticed that there have been a lot of people that have not even been bothering to send information. And that's disconcerting. It's not even a question of non-payment. I've gotten lucky. Most people will pay. There's been a few, but it's just not even, I'm like, who are you? Hello.
Well, and let's talk about sometimes too, this has happened, and it's odd, but it has happened where people will send you an invoice through PayPal to pay for their items, and you've never even sent them an invoice. So they'll just
Yes.
go ahead
Send
and
you money.
they'll go ahead and send
Yep.
you money.
Yes.
And you've not invoiced them, so the shipping isn't accurate. So and then I'm like, I'm refunding this money. Here you go. You take this money back, and you wait for me to invoice you. There you go.
Yeah.
And if they don't come back, then that's fine, because that's a little weird to me.
Yep. I've had people that are new to the live sales and they don't really understand how they work. And I think a lot of us, it's easy to get into the habit of, oh, everyone knows how live sales work because they've been going on for so long. So I've started having to rethink that thought. And at the beginning, just sort of do a couple of minutes to explain how they work and what my policies are. Of course, everything's always in the description box, but people don't often read the description box. I find that people want that information in the chat as they're in the sale. So it does help to explain that, because I've had people say to me, well, I can just send you the money for the item now. And I'm like, no, don't do that. Wait until you get a PayPal invoice, or they don't understand how to pay, or they don't understand how, so it does help to explain all of that.
And but see, that's the thing though, and that's, if you are new to the buying, and is all you have to do is that if you're confused, send an email.
Yeah.
Or engage in the chat, because just as Katie was saying, there are moderators, there are fellow community members, you have your reseller. You would be surprised if you were like, I'm new, I have no idea what I'm doing. And watch how many people that chat will light up.
Oh,
yeah. Everybody will be helpful.
Everybody's going to help you out with it.
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
But I watch a sale on YouTube where buyers pay immediately and the seller sees it and tells them, thank you, live, no invoicing involved. No, not me.
That seems very sketchy to me.
That's not me, because
Well,
I'm going to make sure that I'm charging you exactly what I'm being charged for shipping.
Yep.
Well, maybe, and maybe this is, and I don't know. I think that I'm going to look at it from this perspective, is that maybe what is happening is that the seller is requiring payment for the item up front, and then they would get a separate invoice for the shipping. My concern for that is that you as a buyer are putting a whole lot of, I mean, if you're paying through PayPal, I guess, you would have the option of filing a claim, provided you're paying for a good and service, not as friends and family. I'm hoping that you're paying as goods and services, because if you don't, you have no claim to that item.
Jana's saying that those sales are free shipping.
Oh, still, I wouldn't do that.
Free shipping?
Free
or
shipping?
the cost is just included in the item?
I mean, I could see maybe for a brooch sale, the free shipping, but
maybe.
I mean, if you're shipping a swung glass vase or something like that, I mean, the shipping, depending on where you're shipping, can be pretty expensive, because that box is going to be large. So I don't know about that.
I just don't feel comfortable saying, okay, pay me right now. You sold. No. You got to pay me right now. I just can't. I don't know.
I mean, I'm for real not mad at that idea, because, and this is why, because again, I approach this from a business, from a retail perspective, where that's a transaction. If you want something, you pay for it and you can leave with it. Again, my only concern with it is that I can say that, oh, you're fine doing that with me because I'm going to ship you my stuff. But God forbid something would happen and you've sent me the money and I can't ship you this stuff. Like that's
Michael,
a legitimate
what's my scenario about that. You remember?
You walk out the door and a piano could drop on you and kill you. Like,
my thinking would be,
get your shipping done.
Like with accounting and everything, like with this 99-cent membership, like I would think you would need to balance it out. So not all you resellers like decide to do it, talk to a CPA and stuff. I think it's a great idea, but I don't think it would work for me, because every person's transaction, like I would have to equal that out to zero. So I probably would have to give a 99-cent credit somewhere a month.
Yeah. Well, but why?
Yeah, that's
what Zeno's saying is that you would have, like, you can have like a membership to your YouTube channel.
That.
Yeah.
Google's already going to tax. Google's taking their percentage and they're taxing the memberships.
Yeah, I understand. Well, I mean, I'm not monetized, so I don't understand all of it. But I would say, like, with them paying 99 cents, even though Google's taxing it, you know, like, it depends on how you account. You know, there's different accounting methods.
It would go filed under your I-9 through your Google, so that would all be taken care of for, like, that 99 cents goes into your I-9 that Google then.
No, I wasn't saying like anything. Sorry, I confused everybody. I was saying like I would feel obligated that you paid 99 cents so you could come to the live sale. So I would feel like I owe you 99 cents.
But see, I don't think so though. I mean, I think that, you know, think about all the content you're putting out, Michelle. You're putting out free content. You're teaching people.
I know.
And so that is a way, these membership tiers, that is a way that your viewers can, you know, like I turned off super chats. I used to accept them. I turned them off because Google takes 30% of them. So if someone sends me a $5 super chat, I'm only getting 20% of that. Google is taking 30% of that super chat. And I don't think that that's fair for the person trying to, you know, they're just like giving you a tip, I guess. And so I want to do the memberships. I just haven't handed them down yet. And my membership, I will have a membership only sale, and it'll probably be a shop my shop.
Well, think about the amount of work you put into a live sale. At least for me, you know, I do custom cards. I just like it. It makes it look nice, in my opinion. I have fun doing it, but it takes a lot of time. I have to print all the cards out, type them all up, cut them out. You got to wash your items. You have to get everything prepared. You got to take all the promotional photos, do all the promos, make all the, I mean, that's a lot of work, and it can be really fun. But if you think about that time is money. And so if someone wants to do a membership to support you, that's a little bit extra money that kind of helps with some of the other things that you're doing to prep for the live sale.
Jamie understands me.
And Wita is bringing up a really good point about, you know, there are sellers. There are sellers that do require to be approved. In other words, the buyers are pre-registering so that you, in order to bid, the seller would have to have your information on file in order for you to, so you would have to send an email before you even come to the sale. I mean, that is a very valid way of doing it. You're 100% right. Yeah.
The thing, though, that I have with that I find hard, and this is just my thoughts after watching many live sales, is that someone needs to be there to monitor the email. Because if someone has sent you, they can send you your information, but one, it may not be the right information. That's a whole nother topic for another day. But two, if someone's not there monitoring the email, well, then how are you going to let them bid or buy in a live sale?
Right.
So I've seen issues where people are trying to sell the item, which takes all of your concentration. And then someone's in the chat saying, well, I sent you an email. Did you get it? Okay, well, I can't stop the sale.
Right. Right.
So that becomes really hard unless you had like another person like Pam does with Kelly Michelle or somebody there that can
I agree.
Monitor. It's tough. So I mean, the idea is good. I just don't know the execution really works.
Ooh, so did you just highlight something, or am I going crazy?
Yeah. Wait, did you highlight that?
No, I didn't. I was scrolling. I don't know.
Paul, so when I was talking about a membership, it would be an additional. I would still have my Tuesday, my Wednesday sales, and my Sunday night sales with Michael, but a membership sale would just be an extra sale that would just be with me. So it would be a small, and it would be me walking around my shop, you know, and people picking those things. So it would be a more intimate sale. So all the other sales will still be like they always are, but it's just something that I'm considering doing, because one of the reasons is because I would like to have another sale, and I don't want to, while I can't it's hard to have another sale and not have it at a time when somebody else is having a live sale. So at least if I did it via a membership, I feel like it may be during the time of somebody else's sale, but not everybody can come to it. Does that make sense? And it would be like a minimal fee. It wouldn't be.
Now, talking about that, I'm curious if any of
I
you
wouldn't
know
be
much
charging like
about this.
$40.
'Cause I've been looking at memberships for the idea that if it's not live, would you be able to play like say vinyl for people? Because I've been trying to figure out how I can play some of my records
Oh,
without getting any type of monetization issues or
Yeah, well, you
copyright.
just wouldn't monetize it. You wouldn't monetize that video.
And then people,
Well, and it'd be private. It would be private.
yeah, so then people could tune in to like hang out and listen to some vinyl records. I think something like
George,
that.
didn't George do that last year, the year before?
the
We had
lounge.
the Midnight Music Lounge, but I think Zeno said all the music was copyright free, and he had trouble finding the copyright free music, which is a struggle.
It is.
It's hard.
Yeah, I agree, Mary Beth and Laura. Membership fee is like paying to get into a flea market. You know, you go into a flea market and, you know, I don't have a corn dog booth or anything like they do at the flea market.
It's your entry fee. You know, it's your cover. It's your cover fee.
Even if you don't buy something, you're still hanging out with people in the chat, and you're still watching your favorite creator and having fun, and you're supporting them. So I think that works out beautifully anyway.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I
don't know. People are really, I'm seeing a lot of people, they're really actually digging the concept of a membership fee. Of course, keeping it reasonable. Yeah. I think a lot of people are very understanding of that. And I think, but that's also the too, I think to Michelle's point is that you don't want to feel like you're trying to nickel and dime people. Like you have to pay, because look, at the end of the day, you know, I know that you guys here in the chat that you're very understanding, but there are plenty of people out there that would love nothing more than to be like, see, they're just trying to nickel and dime people. They just want more money. They want that extra 99 cents from 120. They want an extra $120 a month. They just want that money. So, and you never want to appear because that's not the intention. But
it isn't, but you know, this is what we do for a living. And no matter what you do for a living, whether or not you are an accountant or you work in a factory, or you're always trying to look for something to where you can improve your job, you know, different things about yourself. Yeah. So, I mean, what we do is just like any other job. We just sell things on the internet. I mean, that's the only. And as far as like the membership fees, where I'm at with that is I'm struggling to make it fair for both myself and make it fair for my viewers. So because it's going to be extra time that I have to put into it as well. So it has to be a little bit worthwhile for me, but it also, I want, you know, my members to feel like they're getting their $2.99 worth. $2.
That's how I've always felt about the memberships is I like the concept of them, but I want to make sure that if I do them, people would feel like they're getting their $2 worth or their $1 worth or whatever. And I, knowing me, would want to put in the best effort that I could for it. And I wouldn't want it to be just kind of half-assed or go by the wayside because I can't keep up with it. So that's kind of where I am, is like on the fence with the whole membership thing, because I want to make sure I could put all my effort into it.
Right. I'm thinking about 3 tiers right now. And one of them would be like 99 cents a month. And you would get like a free sticker. You would get the little icon things, like the little special icons in the chats and all that. And there was one other thing. And then like the next level was I would go on for an hour. Like on Monday nights, I would be live at 7:00 and it would just be a chat. You know, these are just things I'm working through. And then I might go live for 45 minutes while I'm shipping. So during my shipping time, we can talk about shipping. And then one would be the shop my shop. So, and I don't know what all going to be, but those are the things that I think that I could physically still do in my week.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I'm going to do it yet.
I don't know. I think that it's just, and this is the thing though, because, you know, the idea or the concept of having like a database is interesting, but there are different rules and regulations. The joy of Pennsylvania is I can refuse your service for any reason that I want to. So I can flat out say, oh, well, you didn't buy from Michelle, so I can flat out say that, and there's zero legal repercussion for me. But that's me in the state of Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so, and there are people that I personally, if it was legal for everybody across the board, I said that we should do it. Do you know what I'm saying? And the reason that I'm saying that we should do it is because I personally feel that at the end of the day, we are small businesses. And, some of those small businesses are maybe a little bit closer than other small businesses. But at the end of the day, we're all still on the same platform. And we really do have to look out, though I think sometimes that, well, some folks, that we do have to look out for one another. And we can't because it takes one bad apple,
Yeah.
spoils the bunch.
Yep.
Do you know what I'm saying? One bad apple spoils the bunch. And it's like one of those things where it's not a big deal when it's somebody else, and then it's a big deal when it happens to us. But shouldn't it be a big deal when it happens to another reseller? So that way that reseller says, hey, wait a minute, you shouldn't treat that person that way either. You know what I mean? That's how we build as social media resellers. That's how we build community within ourselves. And I, quite frankly, let's take the curtain back. I think that we as maybe social media resellers, I think that that's something that we should invest maybe a little bit more time and effort in, is building better communication amongst ourselves. And that maybe if we do have group chats, that those chats focus specifically on business and not extraneous information, because then you have people like me that immediately tune out, and I'm like, I have no idea. And then when something important is thrown in there, you totally miss it because you're just like, I can't deal with any of this, but I think that maybe that's something that we should somehow collectively look into. But that's like herding cats, so who knows if that'll ever happen.
Herding cats is hard.
So Classic Old Soul said we had a reseller who came up with an excuse, oh, I'm sick, etc. Meanwhile, we have paid for the items and still waiting on stuff we have paid for. We'll never
Cancel it.
I would go into PayPal and I would cancel that payment.
Cancel it.
That's why you use PayPal, so they can back you up, because that's not okay. I know things happen to buyers and to sellers, and sometimes as a seller too, like we get sick or something happens and we can't, but that's why we wait, in my opinion, to invoice the person until after the sale, and then we communicate with the buyer. But it shouldn't be that long, and that's just not okay.
I want to reiterate, Anna, though, that the membership sales would not, all the other sales you could still attend to. It's just there would be one private sale for members only. That's the only one. All the other ones are still the same as always. I want to make sure that that's understood. People would still be able to come to my Tuesday sales and bid and be fine. It's just that sale that would be at a different time. That would be the only one. And I think that you can still attend them, but you have to be a member in order to be in you have to be able to
chat.
Yeah.
To watch. Yeah.
Yeah. Not taking the place of the content. Yeah. It would be extra content.
Extra.
Yeah. Just something fun that you could add to your channel to give something extra to people that wanted to participate in that.
Yeah.
One day I can do it.
You will.
You will.
Listen, are you not subscribed to Michelle Newton's Cupboard?
Oh no.
You need to go and subscribe right now.
Go subscribe, people.
There are 347 people watching this right now.
And if we get 223. No, 123. We need 123 people that are not currently subscribed to Michelle Newton's Cupboard to go over to that channel and subscribe, because Michael does look at the subscriber numbers to people that come over here, because I like to know if being up on here on the Vintage Wrestling Squad and we say, can you go subscribe, if y'all going over to subscribe, I know what these two ladies' numbers were before we started Vintage Wrestling. I'm just saying.
You go over there right now,
Hit the subscribe button. It's free. It doesn't cost you anything.
Go
Thank
subscribe.
you. Thank you.
Go subscribe. She puts out a lot of really good educational style content. So it's not, just, it's not just
3 years in the making.
Right. Go over there
Yay.
right now. Let me get my candle.
Thank you.
Pointing at you right there. You go subscribe to their channels.
And I did want to say, I'm sorry for getting on my soapbox, but you all don't realize the messages that we get that you all can't see, the messages and the emails. So I'll have people that are like, well, so-and-so held my box. Well, so-and-so let me pay Venmo.
Not me.
Or my favorite, this happened my last sale. So-and-so doesn't charge me taxes. And I was like, well, so-and-so doesn't live in Kentucky. And so-and-so lets me pay friends and family. So-and-so is not running a business. I finally flat out told people that no one else is responsible for me. The IRS is not going to knock on my door. But when they knock on y'all's, because you ain't doing what you're supposed to, don't come crying. Don't say a word to me.
Yeah,
I'll just wave.
EPA, and you talk to them about all the stuff you're supposed to do, and then you do it.
Well, see, this is the thing. We just need 100 more people, folks. Just 100. Come on.
Let's do
100 people.
Let's all
tell your friends, your mailman, your neighbor, the people at the grocery store.
I
need to get everybody.
Magical wand powers.
I cannot see numbers. Hold on.
Only 90 more. Only 90 more now. Only 90 more.
Yay, Janet says you're at 910 subs now. Yay, Michelle.
You know what?
Now all I'm asking is if you subscribe, don't unsubscribe tomorrow.
Right. Fortunately, sometimes YouTube
if we can get Michelle to 1,000 subs before 10 o'clock.
Oh, I have 1,000 subscriber giveaway.
Well, and I will give away
a lot better than most.
I will give away a fairy lamp tomorrow during the live sale.
Ooh, come on, guys. That's
1,000
good.
subscribers, I'm giving away $100.
Oh.
Wow.
Okay, where's the numbers at now?
Come on, people.
Where they at?
That's
free fairy lamp tomorrow? 9:30.
9:30. Come on, people.
Fairy lamp and $100 drawing for Michelle.
Yeah. Now listen, but this is the important thing though, you guys. At the end of the day, it is great to be able to get to 1,000 subscribers, but it is the engagement, you guys, that is so important. Yes. Just subscribing, that's all well and good, but engage with that person's content. Watch what it is that they have to say. Leave a thumbs down. It still counts as engagement. You know what I mean? And if you've got some constructive criticism and that's what's on, and you can do it in a respectful and mature manner, then do that. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, engage with these people, engage with these folks, help these channels grow. We all need it. We all do. It doesn't matter if you've got 90, doesn't matter if you've got 900,000. That is, again, how YouTube
Bring it
works,
over here for a minute.
Right?
Yeah.
But don't forget, just because you subscribe, that's all well and good.
Oh my God.
But don't forget to engage in that content. And don't forget, if you are not subscribed to Miss Katie, Miss Vintage and Vinyl over here,
you're missing out too.
It is just as easy to subscribe to Katie as it is to Michelle, as it is to Misty, as it is to me. Right?
So, Enamor Amy says,
did you read that?
Yeah,
go. You get that.
That is.
I know someone who ships all purchases and then invoices for payment. Taking advantage of all the time and refuses to invoice before shipping items out. What in tarnation?
Oh my gosh!
Wow.
Well,
what sale is this again?
Can you send us a private message?
Don't don't ship items out unless people are paid. Never.
I had that
know
happen
something
once.
else. I don't know if you all
That
have
was bad.
experienced it, but
Thanks,
like
Jamie.
sorry, I keep sinking down in my old $1 chair. Say you like send invoices on like Monday. Something I noticed the last sale is someone didn't pay until Wednesday night. So when I went that it was going to ship out on Thursday, the shipping I invoiced them for was different.
Yes.
Yeah.
For
It happened to me.
Thursday, I can't go back and say, you owe me more money.
People steal
You know what I
from
mean?
her
So it's,
constantly.
I
I
had
noticed
a seller. I had a buyer one time that didn't pay me for 3 weeks, but I knew the buyer and I knew they were good for it. It was just very frustrating to wait and wait and wait. So I waited. Finally, they paid, and there was an extra $4 in shipping because the rates had changed.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to go back to that particular person because it had already been, a thing as it was. So I just ate the $4, and maybe I shouldn't have done that, but that's unfortunate. So it does help to pay quickly so everything's updated and correct.
Wow. Yeah, that's I mean, I would think that after you did that maybe once, you'd be like, well, self, I probably shouldn't do that anymore. Because
Well, it's not on us. It's like Monday, you package the item, you put it in a box. So I go into pirate ship and I say like 10 by 8 by 6, 2 pounds, 3 ounces, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
And so I send the invoice and they have till Thursday to pay it. So when they pay it, let's say they pay it Thursday evening and I say it's shipping out Friday, the price changes.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
So it's not on us. And we're just like, I didn't notice that though till my last sale.
I've only had that happen to me once.
No, I stopped letting people.
I have a buyer that only pays once a month and buys almost every week. It's kind of hard. No, I
That's
wouldn't.
in my policy.
Yeah, you have to pay me within a week's time. That's it. I mean, and honestly, you might feel like a really mean person for doing that because they only get paid once a month. Well, but that's not your fault. I mean, you know what I mean? That's not fair to you. So they're kind of in turn taking advantage of you. So if you look at it from that aspect, I mean, you can ask them in a kind way, but if you're looking at it on that aspect, then
This is a business. And like we've talked about earlier in the show, I can't hold things. One, because I don't have the space. I live in a 1-bedroom apartment,
Yeah.
I've got a lot of collections as it is myself, and then all of the YouTube stuff.
Right.
But like Misty's experience, I know many of us has, if you do holds, by the end of the month, someone might have racked up a $300 bill plus a very expensive shipping bill, and then suddenly they can't pay it, and now you're stuck with everything. So personally, I just don't allow that, and I do put that policy in my description box for every live sale of what my policies are, so people can read that if they do bother to read it, because I don't think people read the description box, but it's there so that it's if someone says, well, I didn't know that, I can say, well, it was in the description box.
Right. And I don't think that I don't think that you can approach it in a mean way. I think that if you just reached out and just said, I appreciate that you're supporting my channel, but I have all this stuff that I'm trying to get rid of, and I'm not getting rid of it if it sits here for a month.
Yes.
So moving forward, I can only hold something for you for a week. And probably our odds are she may not buy from me every week, but it's going to be helpful for you. And maybe you can sell it to somebody that can pay it a little bit faster. And then it's out of the door.
Yeah.
Well, and I think, Misty, I do apologize. Misty highlighted the comment and it said I can't be me. I missed the name. And I think it's interesting because what Jeanette is saying is that I think that eating the $4 is okay because the buyer will come back. And this is what I guess what I'm going to say might be a bit controversial. Okay. And this is something, I guess, where, because by and large, most of my professional life, I have worked for other people. And other people that I have worked for have made decisions, or I guess they should say have made exceptions for people's behaviors or actions because it's easier to do when they're not the ones that are dealing with the people on the day to day. For me, the idea of, oh boy, okay, here we go. So I cannot, nor do I feel that I should have to, as a business, hold your item for more than a week. I think that's absurd. I think it's, quite frankly, I think it's a little absurd to have to hold it for more than 72 hours, if I'm being honest. I don't know what website that you can go on, click buy it, and then
Not pay for it.
not pay it. Do you know what I mean? Well, I guess that's the thing. Nobody up here, and even though Misty has a business, it's not a warehouse. There's only so much space that we have. We don't have the ability to have like rows of boxes and bubble wrap and shelves, and oh, I can put the stuff over here that people haven't paid for. And just as Katie's saying, she's literally using her kitchen countertop. You know, I literally have boxes and bubble wrap in my bedroom right now. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's nowhere else to. So for me, I can't but help think like, do I want that customer back though? That's gonna wait to pay 4 weeks, and I lost $4. Like, do I want?
Yeah.
Is it being mean, or is it me being like, this is a business, and I can't conduct business in this fashion? It's about being respectful, as Misty said, but it's about having having professional boundaries so that you, as a seller, don't allow people to take advantage of you, just as we encourage you as sellers not to allow other sellers to take advantage of you by you then twiddling your thumbs thinking it's okay to wait for an invoice for 2. It's not.
Yeah.
You shouldn't, as buyers, wait 2 weeks, nor should we as sellers. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it's right there. It's not like one's more than the they're right there with one another. They go hand in hand.
They're taking advantage of you because they're taking advantage of your kindness. And
Yeah.
that doesn't mean that you shouldn't be kind. I mean, that doesn't, that it isn't fair to you. It's not fair. It's actually making more work for you because it's making the box heavier. Or, I've had it because when I first started doing this, I would do that. I would I held boxes for this lady for like a month. And then she would be like, oh, I decided I don't want this, this, and this, and this now. And I'm like, no. So you just can't do it. You have to have policies in place that you can go back on and say, in the description. And please know that here's another thing too. If you are selling live on the internet, make sure that all of your information is in your description of every video.
Mm-hmm.
I have tried to buy something from people and their email is not in their description.
Yeah.
I can't get my email to you if it isn't in the description. You have to put that information in there. You have to put, I can't be, because then I'm going to look like a bad buyer because I haven't given you my information. Well, I don't have it's not there.
Well, it's also, as a buyer, it's your time too. And if you have to go back 10 videos and you're not sure which video has the email looking for it, that's really frustrating. And that's happened to me. So it's just easy, as someone that's doing any type of YouTube live sale, you can copy and paste from your previous description box, paste it in the new one, and you're good to go.
Yeah. Well, yeah. And you can even it doesn't, but yeah, you got to have, and it goes both ways. As a seller, you need to have your information in there for your buyer to be able to give you their information. So it's a two-way street.
Yeah.
And I mailed it out anyhow, Carrie. No. Carrie, but that's the thing. If somebody were to pay me and be like, hey, do you mind? Well, that's different because I'm like, okay, I feel like I can deal with this knowing that this is going to go. You know what I mean? It's like when I'm like, what's going on with this? Am I going to be looking at this for the next week and a half? What's going on with this? That's what drives me nuts, And there's exceptions. Of course, there's exceptions. That's a good exception. But you communicated.
Yes.
You communicated.
That's key.
Right.
I was going to say that I think another thing that kind of goes along the lines is it's like people need to know the why. Like, why do we do this? Like, what's our why for our business model and stuff?
Oh.
And
Okay.
the reason why I say that is because a lot of people look at it like we just do this for fun. That's the only reason. But what I don't think people see is, like, I'll just use myself for an example.
Okay.
So I was an HR manager. I was working 80 to 90 hours a week. I was not happy anymore. And this is fun. Like, this is, my grandpa is like with me. This is fun. I love it. A lot of things I love. And I think the HR in me is like the natural teacher. So I want I want everybody to know everything that I've learned, because I learned it for free and I did all this research. But my why of why I want to give everything, like, just tell everybody, is because I had to do so much research. Misty can tell you, I don't know how many conversations we have, how many messages I sent her, just asking her silly questions like, should I do Yahoo or Gmail? Should I do an eBay basic store, or should I do premium? Should I? And I didn't need to ask one person those questions. I needed to do the research and learn. And she was really good about, oh, well, have you checked out this channel? Oh, well, have you looked at this? But so much of the, like, common core information I like to just throw out, because it's just, no, you have to know this little bitty thing, you know, like people, photography. Oh my gosh, my photo box is like horrible right now. It keeps scratching up, can't figure it out. And it drives me crazy, but I can't stop. I still have to take pictures so I can figure out how to fix it. Let me get back to what I was saying. Anyway, the why of my business is because I love this. It brings my grandpa back with me, even though he's passed. It is my passion. I love that I get to chat with people. I get to have live sales with people. I get to go shopping for things. That is my why. On the why I do this for everybody, my why of why I do it for me is because my husband and I are trying to be debt free and build a house. So every bit of profit goes back into trying to build a house and be debt free. So just because you don't know our why, it doesn't mean that this is just like fun and games and we're trying to make all the money off of you.
And everybody's whys are different.
Yes.
And if you're thinking about being a reseller, you need to know what your why is, because I talked about this a few weeks ago, with every why, there's all these steps you have to go through. You have to, if your why is because you want to make a living, well, you got to figure out, like, how much that means. You got to figure out insurance. You know, there's all these steps. So just remember that.
Yeah. Well, and it is, if you're wanting to do this I get a lot of emails from people and they're like, I'm thinking that I want to do live sales. And I'm like, okay, well, that you can always try. But it took me 2 years to build up my YouTube channel for me to have a following of people that would watch my live sales. So you can't just wake up one day and say, that's it, I'm going to sell things on the internet. It just doesn't work that way. You have to know about YouTube, and you have to know about how to grow your channel and how to get people. YouTube just is, you can't just put out a YouTube video and think people are going to watch it.
Right.
There's a whole thing that you got to do with hashtags, and you have to know about the SEO and all of these other things. There's a lot that you have to a little bit do your research kind of as you go, as we all kind of did. But I mean, there's a lot to that. I mean, I know a lot of people thinking, oh, they're just making a killing. But the thing that is, I have to constantly be reinvesting back into my business. I mean, I may have a live sale, but then I'm going and I'm spending $1,000 a week on more inventory. So, I mean, it's a cycle that you have to continuously put into it, and like Michelle, I'm wanting to get this. I got my poop hole done. Now I got to get my kitchen done. Oh,
And just
I
Nice.
know people are like, "Poop, that's an old story." But
And can I just say this? This actually, I don't even think that I told Misty this, or maybe I did tell Misty this. I forget. But there was a video recently, and I'm not going to say who it was because it doesn't matter who it was, because it's not the first time that I've seen one of these videos where another content creator on YouTube will make a how much do they make thing, and then they go on their analytics,
they did it to
analyze
me.
the analytics.
They made one on me.
They've made it on several resellers. You guys,
It was
please
wrong.
do not engage in those things. And then please understand that when you go on and you make comments about other content creators that you want to see them, like we can read those, we can see those. So when you start saying, do the cult of vintage, and then other people start liking it, or that is so incredibly like invasive to me. And Jeffrey, they did one
Yeah,
on YouTube.
physical
That
sentence.
is
I was like,
so.
did you know they did this? And I was like, what? What?
That's
and I watched
awful.
it, and I was like, they're not even right. They're not even right. They were way
Jeanette,
off, by the way.
I don't have to have an app to remove background anymore because eBay and Etsy both do that for me.
Yeah.
So,
Ooh, marvelous.
Yep, they do that. Look what happened to me today, guys.
What?
Nan, look away.
No.
did
But-
you just do that?
Earlier today.
But
Oh.
now, Misty, you can burn it and you can try it.
No, Misty will glue it together. It'll go with Misty's collection of lucite because I keep all the broken ones.
So you're giving it a good home. See, you're rescuing the vintage.
Mhm.
I was so mad because I bought two. So I think I'm going to sell these. These are the ones I bought to keep because they're teal.
Oh, girl, you about to break another set there. Careful now.
They're teal. I'm going to sell those
Amazing.
eventually.
And I wanted to say,
Yes,
too,
those videos are not accurate.
No,
So,
they're not.
guys, can we just get a really quick, because we only have 9 minutes to go now. What is our run? What's our subscriber count? Can
Yeah.
anybody give me a quick number? Because I know we're pretty darn close.
Where we at? Where we at? Where we
I
at?
know that we were pretty close. Anybody can we grab that number quick and throw it
I'm
up
gonna
there in the
bawl like a
chat?
baby.
Oh,
we can do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Power and numbers, people.
telling you, we need to get
979. We need 21 people. Come
People
on.
didn't
Come
believe
on.
me. When I hit 500, I gave $50 away, and that nobody believed me. The person that won was like, "Seriously? Thanks." And I was like, "It's a giveaway."
Listen, if we can get her to 1,000 subs before we leave, I'll give away a fairy lamp tomorrow. But it has to be before we leave. Because some of
And
you
then
are
you all
holding
can
out.
ship the fairy lamp to me.
Okay.
There you go.
Some of you are holding out. You're holding out and you are not going over there. And you are not hitting. Now we're at 979.
No, I know where we're at. From where I'm at. From Michelle, I'm at 982. Come on, 18 people, 18 people.
Oh
We
my
can do it.
God.
People.
We will not leave until it happens.
There we go. If we get Michelle to 1,000 subscribers,
Laura, I knew you were holding out,
Misty
Laura.
will light the broken loose candle.
That would be something.
I mean, I'm tempted.
Missy's like, wait a minute, that might be a good idea. Outside the house. She will do it outside of the
In a
house.
well-ventilated area.
Well, I can't. Oh, I can't because look, it's got a little.
We're all wondering
Listen,
what
when
that
I-
Nan's like, yeah.
One of the first times
Don't be afraid.
one of the first times I was on a channel, Jamie was on there and we were talking. Oh, I was selling those. I don't know if you remember. Michael, you probably don't, but Katie and Misty
more.
do. Oh my gosh.
Come on, people.
Vintage Valentine's cards.
Yes.
And Jamie wanted
Oh,
one for both.
Oh.
And like the very next day.
Happy New Year!
Yay!
Congratulations, Michelle.
Michelle.
Yeah. Congratulations, lady. Oh, honey, you deserve it. Well done.
Yes, you do.
Yes,
Listen,
Congrats.
the thing of it
congratulations.
is, Michelle,
You
when
guys
you
in the
wake up
chat,
in the morning,
wonderful. Yes,
listen,
you guys, you did it. Thank you, thank you. Congratulations,
when you
Michelle.
wake up in the morning, you might be at like 980 something, but
Oh, I don't
they'll
even
come back.
care.
They'll come back because that's what happened to me, and I was like, no.
Yep.
Jamie, will you screenshot it for me and send it to me?
Yay, Vintage Rescue Squad team.
Oh, and guess what?
Okay.
Now on live videos, you guys, we can create clips. So once the video has been posted, we will actually be able to go through and you can clip this moment out of the video, Michelle. We can post it on social media. You can save it. So this is the beauty of being able to do YouTube.
Dad,
Yeah.
Dino, I have 4,000
subscribers right
hours
now.
for like a year and a half now. So
Congratulations.
I've been ready.
Come and say hi, Dad.
Oh my gosh. All I was going to say about Jamie
we would love to
was
see your
there's
dad.
Valentine's
come
cards
say
I
hi
was
real
selling, and one
Come
was for Bo, and Jamie wanted one for Bo. And I found one, and the next day, like, Bo subscribed to my YouTube channel because Jamie has the different. She has like 600 things she jokes about. Yes,
And
and I know you got your hours in, Michelle. So you probably will get that nice little notification from YouTube here very shortly.
That is so very exciting, Michelle.
Yeah.
He won't come over here. He's going out and smoke a cigarette. He woke up from his slumber.
Well, you can go out and light the candle now. You got the layer.
I'm afraid. Nan said, "Don't be afraid."
Don't be afraid.
Don't be afraid.
I'm afraid of Nan saying, "Don't be afraid." Now I'm scared as hell. I'm like,
explode or something.
Oh my gosh. No, Mark is really good at gluing the lucite candles together because a lot of them that I have kept. Oh, I'm blurry again. A lot of them that I have kept have been broke or are broken. Those are all been broken, but Dad's taking his medication. Yeah, you do deserve it, Michelle. You work very hard. You put out a lot of good informational content for people. So it's absolutely, I mean, really go in and tomorrow watch a lot of her content. If you're newly subscribed to her channel, she does Wisdom Wednesdays. And so she puts out a lot of really, really informative things. So make sure that you do watch, and always go and watch Katie as well. Katie's just always fun. My very favorite Katie video is the Swatch Watch.
I had fun doing that.
I love that video a lot. So this was great. This was great. Yay. See, it was kind of a little bit of a bitch session, a little bit, because we get frustrated. But again, it's coming from a buyer and seller standpoint. So it's an even kill there. But we turned it into something good and happy and positive and fun.
We helped a
That's one way to close out a show.
Jello shots for everybody.
I can't even like say anything.
Virtual Jello shots.
Oh God, no, not with Katie. We don't know what's going to be in that Jello shot around here now. We got to be careful.
I promise.
Katie can't make the Jello shot.
Aunt Bethany Jello shots.
I was we can have a shrimp tail coming out of it.
Or shrimp or mayo or any of that nasty stuff. If I ever make Jello for you, it will be just plain, nice, sweet, good Jello.
Good.
I'd be down with an ambrosia too. You know, I mean,
ambrosia's not bad. No. Or anything with pineapple and whipped cream or cherries.
Yes,
like
yes,
that's good.
Jeffrey's down for a good. He talks about a good Jello salad. He likes Jello.
But some things, I'm sorry, just don't belong in Jello.
No.
Meat does not belong in Jello.
No. Meat does not belong in Jello at all. Yeah.
No. Well, guys, we are pretty much at that 10 o'clock hour. We are at the 10 o'clock hour. I'm looking at the wrong thing. So I just want to thank everybody, you know, first and foremost for attending Vintage rescue squad this evening. It's been a great evening, and amazing that we get to close out with Michelle reaching 1,000 subscribers. And again, just as Jamie said earlier, please make sure, and Misty said, please make sure to actually go and just watch some of the content. Michelle really does put out good quality content that is informative and educational. Yes, tonight was a little bit of a bitch session, but at the end of the day, please understand, as Misty said, that it's not one-sided. We do take it very seriously from both perspectives as not only resellers, but we do value you as buyers, and we do want you guys to have trusted, reliable resellers. And so we hear and recognize your wants, your needs, and your concerns. The biggest thing that I can say to you is that if you are experiencing an issue, please reach out to that seller directly. That should always be your first line of communication. If you are not getting it resolved, then like anything in life, you have to make a choice whether you want to continue down that road or whether you choose to just part ways and let it be what it is.
Or I'm going to say something kind of controversial here too. If you've reached out to a seller privately and you feel like they're giving you excuse after excuse after excuse, when they have a live sale, ask them when they're on their live sale if they've gotten their
Ooh, smack.
That's wow.
I mean, come on.
What?
If you were worried about that,
snack on.
if you're worried about that, and that could be a possibility, then I think that you might think twice about brushing off your customers.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And you might save other people the bad experience and the headache.
I mean, I'm just gonna say transparency.
Yeah. And you guys, and that's the thing, and please just see, don't think that you're being mean. There's a difference between being mean and holding people accountable.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Sometimes the greatest kindness that you can do for somebody is to hold them accountable.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm just saying, sometimes we need people in our lives. Exactly. We need people to help us. Sometimes we all, personally, professionally need people to sometimes maybe help us put things into a little bit better of a perspective. And it's not a question about being mean, right?
You might light that fire to kind of help them get on the path that they need to get on.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I think so.
So, Katie, Michelle, can we expect to see you guys, Michelle, maybe live anytime soon? Katie, how about you, lady?
Michelle, you just hit 1,000, so tell everyone what's next, and then I'll go.
Okay. I gotta go cry in a few minutes. Thank you, everybody.
It's well deserved.
Thank you.
Very.
So every Wednesday I go live and talk all things reselling. I try to do the StreamYard like a week in advance so that way you all can plan. I'm not on any of Angela's schedule because I never can remember. So I just forget every time. So you can expect it this Wednesday at 10 a.m. And then on the 11th, which is Friday at 10 a.m., I'm doing a live haul. I've decided that it would be a lot more. It's exciting to me to have the interaction for the live hauls. So I give the comps. I've already looked them up. I give the comps during the live haul and tell you live sell, whatever it is. And then you can buy it if you want to. Nice. Of course, I like that. And then next Monday is my live sale at 1:00 Eastern time. So that's what's going on. And if I keep over 1,000 subscribers, I am going to make sure it stays. Then I will have a drawing for a $100 winner.
What?
Yay, that's so cool.
Cash, folks. Cash.
I've been saying since my kids were born.
Tomorrow before the sale, if I forget to be like, Misty, if I forget to give away the fairy lamp, y'all remind me. Misty, you're giving away a fairy lamp. So don't let
I'm
me
gonna
forget.
look at Newton's covered subscriber count before we go live. Make sure that our number's still 1,000 now.
Well,
You
no,
know,
I'm still
Michael ain't
going
gonna
to
be
do
playing. Michael's not gonna play around with it now.
So go watch that content.
it. And let it run all night. You know you can do that. If you like to sleep with your TV on, with like I do, I will turn it on like Michael's channel, or I go from like I give everybody a little bit of something, and then I'll just let it play, and so they can get those watch hours in.
That's fantastic. Well, this Wednesday, you can find me on the Duo Dive, which is very exciting because we're actually pre-recorded it. We have Dolores from Miss DAM Jewelry from England, and she is on talking all about brooches. So if you're interested in bringing back the brooch, you want to tune in to that episode, which will premiere on my channel at 9:30 p.m. this Wednesday. So that is very exciting. And you can be in the live feed. Well, it won't be live, but you can be in the chat, and we can all have a wonderful discussion about brooches and see some of Dolores's collection. And then this Thursday, you can also catch me for a drop sale, which will be dropping on my channel. I'm at the 7 p.m. slot. I'm part of Patrick's Shop Hop Drop. I hope I said that right, but there's a bunch of us involved. Misty's involved.
Yeah.
Let's see, Beth is going to be part of it. Mimi's Treasure Cottage, Keepy's Collectibles, Nancy, Catherine, George, Pamela, Sean from Skunky Junk. A whole bunch of people are part of this drop sale, so it'll be fun. You can hop all the channels and shop some really cool vintage.
I filmed mine today. Mine is all salt and pepper shakers. So that's a little bit
fun.
And
I
I
always
want to
knew
say
she was
thank
salty.
you. Thank you to Lisa for sending me this beautiful brooch that I'm wearing. I love it.
Stunning.
I've worn it all day. It's so pretty. So thank you. I told her I was going to be wearing it tonight too. So thank you so much, Lisa.
Did you hear what I said?
No.
I always knew you were a little salty.
Sometimes I can be. Well, it all depends on the day. It all depends on the day.
Add a little spice.
Mm-hmm.
And Michael and I are having a live sale tomorrow at 1 o'clock. 1 o'clock Eastern on my channel. And then on Wednesday at 1 o'clock, I'm having a live sale with Jason from Mother Tucker's Antiques. I love him so much.
Yay.
Yeah, he's great. And then Sunday night.
Oh Lord, you two on a live sale together.
I know.
Y'all, we have to be done by 4 o'clock. That's when Sarah has her sale. So we have a time limit. We have to be cut off. We will. Jason and I can do it. I don't know if he's watching, but Jason, we can do it. We can stop talking in 3 hours. But and I'll be doing the drop shop too. So that's Thursday. I think mine's at 7. Well, mine's at 7:30 Eastern. No, Central. Mine's 7:30 Central, which is 8:30 Eastern.
The Eastern and Central, that's always so confusing.
Yeah, numbers.
Mm-hmm.
The numbers.
Yes. All right, guys. Well, thank you all so much again for being with us. Don't forget, down in the description, as many of you know now, everybody's Instagram and YouTube channels are linked down below. It's just one click, one follow, one subscribe. That's all it takes to show a little bit of support for some really hardworking people. I know everybody would certainly appreciate it. Michelle, congratulations for reaching. Now you're over 1,000 subscribers. Thank you, everybody in the chat, for making that possible. Please don't forget to engage in the content. Have fun with it. Again, we appreciate y'all. Y'all have a good evening, and we will see you next week on Vintage Rescue Squad, back on Misty's channel. Y'all have a good night.
Thanks,
Bye, friend.
Thank you so much.